And Chris Koch and Steven Ortiz. We'll see what the future holds for the Black Knights.
Our official doing his final check. Army wearing their road black jerseys, Penn State wearing their home whites, and we are underway from Jeffrey Field. Army starts out with the ball first, long ball played toward the right side of the box. Gage Lyons has a one-on-one opportunity with the keeper, and that's shut down by the Penn State defense. Mentioning Gage Lyons, he was the leading scorer for Army last year as a freshman. Also led in points, was their only goal against the Temple Owls.
Yeah, and it's the same starting 11 for Army today here at Jeffrey Field as their opening game against Temple on the road. Getting in the PA matchups here in the Keystone State early are the Black Knights.
And they came off a 1-1 draw in Philadelphia. Like you said, same exact lineup. Here comes a chance for Penn State. Quick challenge in the box. That was Kelly Cooper with a phenomenal tackle.
Close one there, a little bit of contact. Referees let it play on.
Army trying to win the ball in the midfield. To the right wing. They're looking for Kai Thomas, the freshman. Goes out of play, it'll be a Penn State throw.
It's a little too much power there on the through ball, trying to lead him down the right wing, trying to get something set up on that side across, on over through the box. And then Frederick Grunden yet to see his first shot, an opportunity earlier for Gage Lyons in the box, but didn't get a shot on that. The freshman from Sweden who played at Tabby FC, and he played every minute available for the U19 team.
That's a big change from this lineup today. Andrew Cook against Clemson led up 3. They decided to roll with Grunden today.
Indeed. Cook, the transfer from Colgate, started game 1, like you said, 6'4" graduate. But he's out of the back line tonight. It's interesting to see this situation right here, the back line for Penn State. Communication-wise, trying to get this breakout here. You see Army applying some pressure there. Penn State's defensive half.
Penn State looking to feed from the back line. They'll move to the wings. Matthew Henderson. That's a dangerous challenge there from Army. It'll be a foul as Michael Hughes hits the turf. Speaking of Michael Hughes, he's a transfer from the University of Pennsylvania, making his Jeffrey Field debut. The last time he was in Jeffrey Field was for Penn when they beat the Nittany Lions.
Yeah, it's a lot of transfers making their first appearances here at home for Penn State. 6 new transfers in Cook, Oliver, Dion, Bonas, Dadsey, and Hughes, as you mentioned.
It'll be, again, Niederhauser versus Spinoso on the tip. Ball goes up, and we're underway from the Bryce Jordan Center. Easy win off the tip from Yannick Conan Niederhauser. Baldwin moving the ball up for Penn State to get things started. Now to the top of the key, Puff Johnson. Hicks dumps it off now to Baldwin, circling his way around. Back to the point, Baldwin looking inside into the paint. Yannick Conan Niederhauser, too easy from him from the low block, and that's how the game gets started, 2-0.
And just as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Yannick Conan Niederhauser getting in early in the paint.
A.J. Levine gets the offense started for Penn. He'll pass it to the freshman on the far wing, Braden Foster. Sam Brown finding Levine once again, guarded tightly by DeLeon. Levine moves with the left, crossover to the top of the key, inside of Spinoso, backdoor, Foster off the glass. First point for Penn today, coming the way of Foster. Ace Baldwin Jr. just past half court. 19:03 left to go in the first half. Lob to Yannick Conan Niederhauser, looked out below.
What a alley-oop from Yannick Conan Niederhauser, went up and grabbed it.
Huge alley-oop. They tend to run that on the offense, especially early on. Full court press from the Nittany Lions. That's a 10-second violation. They couldn't get past half court. Zanoni was right there about to pass it when the official blew the whistle. 18:43 left to go. It is Penn State 4, Penn 2. So we move on to 165. It'll be one half of the Montanona brothers. It'll be Bo Montanona. He will be taking on the hardest wrestler, arguably, in the NCAA at any weight class, Mitchell Messenbrink. Yeah. He placed 3rd in the Olympic trials. He's a second-team All-American. Definitely a challenge for Bo Montanona.
Arguably the favorite for the Hodge Trophy this year. The gap between Mitchell Messenbrink and everybody else in 165 is immeasurable. Number 2 in the country, Mikey Calando. Every single time Mitchell Messenbrink has faced him, he has tech faulted him.
And we are starting off hot out of the gate. Both men being aggressive in neutral. Messenbrink working the upper body of Montanona. Now he goes low. Montanona playing defense. He goes for the ankles. Messenbrink almost had it, but Montanona straddles to prevent it with 2:37 left in period number 1.
Mitchell Messenbrink, I don't want to say weirdest, but he is one of the most unique athletes you'll ever meet. If you had a class with this guy, one would be like an 8P 400 level psych course. You wouldn't think he's a wrestler. You'd think he's the kind of guy with his glasses, talking super smart, super sophisticated, that you'd think you could beat up and take his lunch money. But little do you know by looking at him, he is arguably the best wrestler in the country.
Messenbrink has the lower body. Montanona putting on dead weight on his right knee to prevent the takedown from Messenbrink. Messenbrink returns him to the mat with 2:10 remaining in period number 1. Still in the center of the mat. Both men trying to roll each other over. Messenbrink has the foot, trying to roll Montanona onto his back.
Looks like there's going to be a bit of a stalemate call here.
Both legs are locked. Stalemate hasn't been called yet. Messenbrink using all of that upper body strength. Center of the mat, he's on top. 3 points for the takedown for Messenbrink.
There's not many wrestlers in the country that will be able to turn that position into a takedown. Mr. Messenbrink, he believes life is a verb.
And you talk about
No, I don't know what that means either.
how you say unorthodox Messenbrink is personality-wise as a wrestler. A fun fact on the board before his match, he partakes in chess competitions and is an avid chess player.
Not shocking.
Messenbrink, not only smart, high IQ-wise on the mat, but also off the mat. That's a hard game to play.
And he just focuses on the moment, which seems to be a lot of accounting for a lot of Penn State wrestling successes. A lot of them say, don't look at the future, just look at what's right in front of you. Right now, Mr. Messenbrink, he's looking at a 3-point lead.
Stalemate is called, and actually they're going to call a potentially dangerous play on that one, so both men will return to neutral. Messenbrink has 45 seconds of riding time with 1:04 remaining in period number 1. He leads the bout 3-0. Messenbrink is just such a tough guy to wrestle, so athletic, both in his lower body and his upper body. As you see there, looking for the takedown. Look at the counter as Montanona. He escapes. He gets 1 point. 52 seconds left to go. Great counter there by Bo Montanona.
And it looks like a stop. I believe Messenbrink got poked in the eye.
Messenbrink getting a final check, getting a final okay from the official. Looks like Montanona also has to adjust his headgear. Both men return. Center of the mat, back to neutral. Messenbrink went low. Montanona playing defense. Now Messenbrink has that left knee, trying to work Montanona onto his back. 37 seconds left in the first period of the 165 bout.
I think position-wise, Montanona might have the advantage right now. Got a bit of a half cradle going on, but it's Mr. Messenbrink. Looks like you're already flipped that around.
Trying to reverse it, get Montanona on his bottom side. 16 seconds left to go. 54 seconds of riding time for Messenbrink. Official's whistle blows with 15.6 seconds left to go. Both men will go back to neutral. Potentially dangerous. 13 seconds left in period number 1. And it looks like both men will rest for the time being, and it'll stay at 3-1 as time hits 5 down to 3. And that'll be the end of the first period. Messenbrink leads early, 3-1 off that early takedown. And Messenbrink looks dominant as always. 18:24 left to go. The puck is in Penn State's defensive zone. Far face-off circle. It looks like Penn State's going to win this one. Brief struggle for the puck. Christensen has it, and he's going to look to clear. From the near boards, he rainbow flicks it into the air, looking for Paquette. Paquette couldn't control it, so Dowiak comes in to back him up. Now at the end line for UConn, John Varia goes into the neutral zone. Dump and go for the Huskies. Christensen is there first. Keaton Peters, far board, clears it out into the neutral zone. Penn State is now on the forecheck. Forecheck doesn't work. Puck is in the air. Stopped by Sergeyev's glove. He just made a quick save because you have to remember last night there was a fluke goal made by Maine by not knowing where the puck was.
Yeah, since then, Sergeyev steps his game up. He looked a bit rough on that opening sequence last night. Not last night, jeez. last game. We'll figure it out eventually. But so far in this game, he's looking like himself.
Early game rust, not only for Evan Smith, but for both teams. Both teams have been struggling to control the puck. The face-off will happen by the near face-off circle, swing around the boards after the win by Penn State. But Kent will take a crack at it from way beyond center ice. Tongue had to react to it, made a stop with the leg pad. Here come the Huskies. Quick flick by Philip Sitar. Sitar to the end line, looking for Hugh Larkin. Intercepted by the Nittany Lions. Back and forth, seesaw turnovers for both teams. Icing is called, and it'll go to the UConn defensive end with 17:25 left to go in period number 1. It seems like a lot of the play for these first few minutes has happened in Penn State's defensive zone, which is not what Guy Gadowski wants early on.
Yeah, they've been a team just kind of focused on quick rushes. That's what they've been doing in this one. Interestingly, usually they just dump it behind the net. They've been aiming for the net when they do these clears so far.
Laubach takes the faceoff for Penn State. Arm is raised. Someone went early. We're going to try again. He'll go against Tabor Heaslip of UConn. Penn State wins the faceoff. Dangerous opportunity incoming. Loose puck along the far boards, and it's picked up by the Huskies. Hugh Larkin did a good job reacting to that. Fink on the forecheck. Easy pass away to clear for UConn. Sitar along the near boards, past the blue line. Sitar loses the puck. Poke check by Crespo. Geniev racing after it. Dowd gets a poke into it in the neutral zone. Now UConn, off the turnover, has a dangerous opportunity. Near board, into the slot, shot scored! That was quick from the Huskies. And who else? Joey Muldowney with the first goal of the game for both teams. The San Jose Sharks draft pick makes another impact in the NCAA tournament. 1-0 UConn. It is 2nd down and 6 from the Penn State 10. 10:41 left to go. Fagan still in the game. 2 men out far. That's Bryant and Franklin. Fagan at Altmaier's hip, none to the near side. Play action pass. Altmaier fires. Receiver goes down, no one home, incomplete. And they were going for Franklin.
Yeah, looking for Franklin, and like you said, he went down. They were trying to throw that fade route to the corner of the end zone, but Altmaier had all day to throw that football. His offensive line is doing a great job so far.
3rd down and 6 at Penn State's 10. They can certainly kick from this defense, but Illinois wants more than that.
Yeah, they want 6 on their first drive.
10:23 left to go. 1 man out far side, 1 to the near. Bryan out far, Franklin out near. Fagan in the backfield by Altmaier's left hip. Altmaier in the gun. Man in motion, that's Franklin. Drop back to pass. Thrown, complete to Bryant. And it looks like he just got the first down. Gain of about 6, first down Illinois.
The extra effort from the Illinois offense is what's getting them down the field. Penn State there, and a shoestring tackle is not enough to bring down Bryant initially, and he moves the chains, and Illinois is knocking on the door.
It'll be 1st and goal from the 4. 9:57 and counting on the clock. We'll see what formation Illinois shows. It's going to be the same exact one. Bryan out far, Franklin near. Fagan now in the pistol, however. Altmaier, man in motion, snap to him, fakes the handoff to Fagan. In the end zone, touchdown, Illinois.
Wide open, Carson Goda. His 2nd reception of the season goes for a touchdown, and Illinois, they looked good on offense to start the game.
Yeah, you take a look at that, just a route in the flat there, corner of the end zone, and there was no one within 5 yards of.
So, I'm Ben Hoyt here along with AJ Nemitz. AJ, it's just us two tonight. Usually it's a more packed room. Usually we have Evan here hosting, but I'm going to be taking over the hosting duties for tonight. AJ, you and I, our forte is hoops. So why don't we get started with hoops? Penn State basketball is really bad.
Bad is being generous.
Bad's really being generous because they lost to 2 of arguably the worst teams in the Big Ten. I remember, AJ, me being at Panzer, calling lacrosse. And have you ever been in that press box?
I have.
So there's like a TV there, right?
Yeah.
Like a big flat screen TV in Panzer. And that day they were putting on Minnesota against Washington. I mix up my Midwestern Big Ten schools. And that game, I was talking to a colleague, and I said, okay, this might be a battle for the bottom of the Big Ten, right? Mm-hmm. Boy, how wrong I was. Because if you take a look at Penn State's collapse in the Big Ten, you have to work at that. That is nothing short of impressive in all the wrong ways.
Yeah, collapse is the perfect word, especially since they started the season off a lot better than they normally do. They started the season off 12-2. Fast forward 2 months, they're 13-13. But collapse is the perfect word to describe it. Penn State's sitting at currently dead last in the Big Ten, and Minnesota, who's also not a good basketball team, they're 5 spots ahead of them. But yeah, it's been a rough showing for the Nittany Lions on the court.
Well, I like to use Bart Torvik. I know a lot of people like to use Ken Pom. Mm-hmm. Torvik does it a little bit differently. It's more math-oriented than opinion-oriented. Mm-hmm. And taking a look at Torvik to start the year, Penn State was projected 75, which honestly I thought was very fair for Penn State. It's, okay, well, they're going to struggle in the Big Ten, but they're going to wipe out their non-conference opponents. Like, they're not going to lose to Penn, or they're not going to lose to UMBC or St. Francis, whatever name you want to throw in there, whatever mid-major you want to say. I guess they were sort of right, but honestly, I would even put them below 75. I would put them in the 80s and 90s.